All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our morning note. It is Monday, July 12th, 2021. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. I am on the road today, so I'm working on the laptop this morning. So you will not see my ugly mug this morning. You'll just be seeing the screens, which it should be that way, anyways, right? Good morning, everybody. Let's rock and roll. Let's talk market, shall we? Before we begin, bottom right hand corner of your screen is a little white square. That's our logo. Click on that, turn on notifications, subscribe to our channel, like our videos, comment questions. Here to help as always. Thanks so much for taking the time out of your day. Let's rock and roll. Let's talk markets. Dow futures are down 95 points. NASDAQ futures continuing to run up 0.41%, 60 points. E-mini futures basically flat, 0.04%. Russell 2000 down 0.33%. Value stocks still taking a little bit of a hit. So we're going to go over that here in a second. TNX, which is your 10-year yields, 1.346. Again, the yields are falling. Dollar index, this is the symbol DXY. So if I'm on my laptop, you'll start seeing the symbols more than the actual names of the actual securities or indices. But there you go. 0.20% for the dollar index, 92.31. The VIX is up 3.15% at 1669. Crude oil is down 1.23%, 73.65. Gold futures are down as well, 1802 an ounce, 26.12 for silver. Currently, dollar yen is at 110.19, 7 pips to the upside. 118.54 for the euro dollar, 23 pips to the downside as the dollar is gaining. Ethereum futures 21.05, down 1.44%. And Bitcoin at 33,045. Still holding that 30,000 support so far. Really nothing to do. I mean, if we start breaking down 30,000, then yeah, we could start talking about buying some more Bitcoin. But till then, haven't really done much. So no big deal there. All right. Let's rock and roll. Let's talk about pre-market. Virgin Galactic had their successful flight with Richard Branson. They're up 2%. They were up as high as 5% this morning. Pinterest is also up on heavy volume, 0.48%. DD Global is down 3.24%. We retweeted some news out there as well. That is on our Twitter. Make sure to keep up with our Twitter. Any breaking news, analysis, charts, and if you're a social media person, Twitter is the best way to go. Obviously, Instagram has some more good stuff as well, but Twitter is more up to date. Instagram doesn't really show you things on a timeline basis. So again, Twitter does. But again, if you want the newest stuff, if you want to know stuff we're watching every day, make sure to turn on notifications on Instagram and Twitter. Very, very important. Let's take a look at the Dow and what's moving. Boeing is down 0.60%. JP Morgan reports tomorrow in the morning, 0.77% to the downside. Intel up 0.21%. Disney up 0.20%. Goldman Sachs down 0.54%. Again, I've been talking about financials. Again, I'm waiting for a little more of a dip. Let's see how their earnings go tomorrow and this week. Apple up 0.70. Apple's an absolute beast. Again, we talked about how mega cap tech is going to carry Q3. So far, that's been happening. We just started Q3. Apple really has a little more to go, possibly to 150. Maybe runs up into earnings and then sells off a bit. That's what I'm expecting. Microsoft up 0.760%. Should hit 280 today. I have a runner on the 280 calls, so I've just been holding that. Tesla's up 1% pre-market. American Airlines, General Electric, Carnival, again, the airlines, the value names, they're rotating out today. Bank of America is down 0.42%. The guys are leading the way. AMD, Tesla, Apple, the tech boys, they're going. Delta Airlines also reports this week, so again, they're down pre-market. Micron up 0.36%. Nvidia up 0.5%. Their stock split will be calculated on I believe, the 17th, which is this Saturday. So that's something to watch there. Facebook, 0.54% to the upside. Intel as well, 0.21%. So again, mega cap tech is leading the way. Let's go ahead and take a look here at our friends at FinViz and see what's going on. We can take a look at the stock screener for or the actual stock maps for pre-market. And look, this is pre-market right here. You could see what are the guys leading the way. It's all tech. Keep an eye on PayPal as well. I'll be watching that this week. But again, banks are down, energy's down, consumer defensive kind of sideways, healthcare is down, industrials are down. Interest rates are down again. You could see here TNX 1.343. Again, you just move the decimal point to the left, and that'll be your interest, the 10-year yield. There is a bond auction today at 10 a.m. So that's something to watch. All right, let's answer some questions here. Thoughts on space today? I'm going to go ahead and set up the actual chart here. So looking at space here, really the level to break is 55.02 for a breakout. We had a nice pop pre-market to 60 on a wick, but right now it is basically just filling that overnight gap. So what to expect? Again, you have two kind of methods here, or two kind of school of thought, which is that space had some good news, so it'll pop pre-market, then fade. Two, people are going to sell the news, or that's two. The third one will be it'll just soar right in the morning. The idea here is that I think space was going to be up pre-market anyways, about 5 to 6%. Now it's only up about maybe 1.5%. What it will probably do price action wise, depending on the volume, is tap 55. If you have calls at 55 or anything like that, I would take it. If you see 55, if it breaks above 55, then you could possibly hold. But again, they were expensive anyways due to IV. Really, the resistance so far would probably be 60. Your support would be on the hourly 47.90 to 47.50. Now again, if you're looking to purchase the stock, I would try to get below 41.78 if I want to be a long-term investor. Remember, I sold space way back in the 20s. So again, what can you do? I missed out on some gains there. Let's take a look here. So that was the answer on space from Shyam, excuse me. So again, let's see what the price action does. It really depends on demand. Just because there's good news out there doesn't mean everyone shares that sentiment. I know it's a weird thing to talk about, but that's just the reality. Apple all-time high. Yep. Again, we talked about Apple. Apple has more room to run, in my opinion. I think it gets to 150 as it gets up to earnings at the end of the month. Once that does, we should get a sell the news event, unless they absolutely blow it out of the quarter, which could possibly happen. But again, my idea is that 150 would be the target. I'll possibly trade some more Apple this week. I have some UOAs with our premium and students that we're holding anyways. So again, we're long Apple to begin with. Thoughts on SI, which is silver futures. Silver futures, last July, we actually killed it. I think we had like 600% on that. So again, happy anniversary to that silver trade. Right here on the hourly, not much going on until you start breaking 26.75. But if we go ahead and bring up a daily, which would give us a little more room to see, really 28.45 is your level to break out on the daily. You could possibly see if you could retake that 50-day moving average around 27.12, but then 28 would be your resistance. So not much going on here. What I see is kind of a Amazon type consolidation for silver futures. I wouldn't touch it until we start getting some kind of move up or down. Tesla to run up earnings next week as well. Well, that's a really good question. Tesla does need a little love here. Maybe then that 700 level. That's what I've been waiting for. 700. If we can break 700, then 722, then 760 would be my next levels to watch. I would not buy the stock. If I'm looking for a dip buy, it's 583.23. Until then, I ain't doing a thing until 700. Morning, do you see the market continue to go down slowly, or will you bounce back soon in your opinion? Well, remember, we were at all-time highs on Friday, so it's not like we had any kind of dip other than, I believe, Wednesday, where we had that opportunity to buy the dip. I believe Thursday or Wednesday, I forget. So I'm still bullish in this market. I still think we have some more upside. I think banks crush it, and they're going to continue to run for a short time. But tech is going to lead this rally, as you could see with NASDAQ in Q3. Tech will pick up the slack. Amazon and Apple have a little more room. Microsoft, I'm a little worried about. Facebook, I'm a little worried about. Google, I'm a little worried about. Those three have run up already to all-time highs beforehand. I would probably look and see if they come down a bit, maybe an opportunity to buy some more. But Amazon and Apple, as you could see, pre-market, they're the ones leading. They're the ones that are going to continue to run. They will both continue to hit all-time highs towards the end of or mid Q3. But again, 4,400 in the S&P was my target. Looks like we're going to hit it. So again, I was probably a little too conservative. I was expecting that by the end of August. And it's not even the end of July, and we're about 40 points away from E-mini futures being at 4,400. Let's say here, Palantir, 24 calls to buy the dip. Let's take a look at it. Palantir, not much going on there. I mean, it is up pre-market, but again, look at the daily. Same thing, just kind of hovering around. I'd rather you not buy those long-term expiry options, because if you're just going to chop around, you're just going to kill your premium. So again, if you want something long term, if you want to just buy the stock, make life easier, my level to buy is 1750. I own shares anyways. I love that stock. Alibaba, let's take a look at it. The Chinese companies, again, still under pressure. Right now, pre-market, it is absolutely flat. So nothing much going on here. The level to break on BABA is 207.84. If that does break and I have calls, then we're going to continue to 210, possibly to 11.08, which would be resistance anyways. Is there concern about Wells Fargo and its recent move for the stock market? I think you're talking about the removal of personal lines of credit for Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo has been on fire. I've traded those options, but again, I don't know how much taking away personal lines of credit is going to do towards uh, anything in regards to the actual bank itself. I mean, if they're doing it, it's possibly due to some kind of risk management or something like that, probably taking some risk off their books. Do I think the stock is terrible? I mean, you could trade it. I'd rather not own it. The only really banks I want to own are JPM and Goldman Sachs, anyways, and Citibank. Let's see here, CVNA. Carvana doesn't have much options that I've seen, but again, it is something that is stepping up. The automobile sales are doing very well. If you want to buy the stock, I would probably wait for 300 for a possible dip buy. Again, I haven't researched much the company anyways, but for options, I haven't seen much volume in a Carvana. Thoughts on Platinum PL? Let me see if it's Platinum Futures. Platinum Futures is /PL. I actually have a Platinum coin, which is kind of cool. But let's see here. 1103 is where we currently are. We're trying to retrace to 1174. Let's take a look at the daily. Yep. 1174 would be nice. That would kind of get us out of this. A little bit of a flush here. Again, the precious metals have been taking a little bit of a hit. Silver has been kind of sideways. I would wait for possibly 1174, 1181, which is that 100-day moving average, before I do anything with Platinum. If you're looking for a dip buy, possibly 1050 would be a good one. Okay, you're welcome. ARK, I have ARK. I have some shares of ARKK, and I'm just holding it long term. I'm not going to bet against Kathy Woods. I think they're going to be fine. Can you share your link for your TOS setup? Yes. Let me go ahead and get that for you. This one is not the best one, but I can still share it with you guys. So let me go ahead and share the workspace, share, and then here is the workspace. I just pasted it. There you go. Do you expect FB to run? I expect FB to kind of trade a little sideways. Again, it's at 352 right now. If it breaks 358.79, then we could start having a conversation and possibly get into around 370, 375. If that does happen, I'll possibly ride that wave up with the rest of tech. FB is a great company, criminally underrated and underpriced, and they're highly high. Their profit margins are insane. So again, I still love Facebook as a stock long term. But again, I think it's going to be Apple and Amazon's time to shine. Remember, Facebook was running already with Google. Again, the communication services guys, they're already running. So again, it's Amazon and Apple. They're going to get all the love, in my opinion. They're going to outperform the Microsoft, Facebook, and Google if you're still in the FANG names. But that'll be the ones that'll be running. Again, Tesla we spoke about already. Again, 583 is my dip buy opportunity to buy some more. I own shares. If it breaks 700, I'll be looking for 722 to 760. But again, I think that we'll get to 800, 850 by the end of the year anyway. It's hard to keep this name down. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and leave it there. Have a great rest of your day. Again, I'm just out. Well, I'm working, but I'm working remote for the week. So again, I'm just have my laptop. I don't have the big fancy screen like I have in my house. So again, just bear with me on that. Have a great rest of your day, guys. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for the morning note and later on today for the after market recap. Cheers, guys.